Yeah, how's it going? Today is 30th of October, Wednesday, and we're gonna be taking a look at the market, and we're gonna be taking a look at and covering some of the opportunities potentially. We're gonna be taking a look at military contracts mostly, and we'll try to close this video perhaps by taking a look at one of the opportunities that might be in some of those governments when it comes to aviation, right? Let's begin. There was a lot of articles with NHS. As of now, NHS are underperforming by a lot, so I'm not that keen in reading any information with NHS. Previously, I was taking a look at how to engage with innovation team, and that innovation team sent me a link. The link doesn't work. I have reached out to the team, and they told me that it's fully booked. A minute later, then the link was sent to me. I was trying to arrange a session, right? So in the 1 minute's time, all slots for engagement with innovation team with NHS was taken in a minute, in 2 minutes tops, right? I don't know what's happening, but it might be for the time being, NHS might be burning a lot of cash. So just leave it like it is with NHS. Let's progress and perhaps focus on other things, right? That will be national bus fare cap. That will be single bus fares will be limited to at £3 until the end of 2025. It used to be £2, and potentially with many things happening, upgrades of the fleet, that would be 1,200, I believe, buses, all these kind of things, and perhaps fuel subsidies, many things, right? Including inflation potentially. We're looking to increase fare by 33%, which is kind of an interesting idea, right? Let's progress. Let's take a look at other articles, right? Let's progress. Let's take a look at next article. That will be Army gives lessons as Steam comes to the particular location. Let's keep names, right? There's a lot of things to cover. We will jump over a lot of things since I would rather focus on military, and I believe it might be more to do with how many personnel military will have available and how we can take part to increase these numbers and support military, including qualifications in education as some of the STEAM subjects, and nearly 290 cadets are competing in STEAM-based challenges supported by 10 different Army units throughout half term week. Well, this part is very important. I believe many people should take part. More importantly, we can take a look at gender balance, right? With a participation rate of 40% this year, camp is well represented by involvement of 116. It says young, but it's just women. we don't need to we don't need to discuss age, right? Don't be rude. With the recent statistics estimate that women make up only close to 30%. So perhaps there should be more involvement and more gender balance, and we should encourage more women taking on some of the areas, including STEAM subjects, where other areas might be dominated by women and ladies, right? Perhaps more women should be interested in the defense, right? STEAM subject. Let's progress. This particular article, let's try and pay attention. That might be very, very important. That we new UK-EU competition cooperation agreement. UK government and European Union have formally concluded technical negotiation on UK-EU competition cooperation agreement, and that we something that we can take a look at within this article. That will be a negotiation concluded on support international cooperation on competition, will allow for closer cooperation between CMI, that would be regulatory body of UK, and EU competition authority. And the last point, that would be a new agreement will supplement UK-EU trade and all cooperation agreement. Okay. So it's good that they're working on this subject, but again, there isn't much other than trading standards and how to do more trade with Europe. This particular part will be very important, if not right now, in the future, and there should be more progress in this space when it comes to more agreements and signing a lot more when it comes to trade with some of the European governments, including France, Germany, Italy, Spain, just to mention a few, where perhaps some of these businesses, as of now, if they're selling 100 units, for example, they would be able to sell 200, additional 200 units to Europe, right? So that's a massive increase, and this is how important some of those agreements can be, depending on what products you might be interested in selling, right? Anyway, let's take a look at military and some information that was sent to me. First article, we can take a look at top Turkish defense then sees 6.2 billion in deals, more than 130 deals between domestic foreign firms signed and Saha Expo in Istanbul. They might have a lot of events happening, not necessarily just in Turkey, but there might be something in France. I think I have seen it. France event wasn't sent it to me. Turkish event was sent it to me. So, so I thought we can take a look at it. And there's more to it, right? But anyway, briefly we can cover it, right? I'm interested in one of the companies in Turkey. When it comes to aviation, there might be a lot of developments, right? That will be the Saha Expo, one of the Turkish top defense events. Saw the significant dozen of agreements between foreign and or domestic companies and institutions in the Turkish metropolitan Istanbul. Among their deals were export cooperation agreements and memorandums of understanding. More than 130 agreements were signed worth of 6.2 billion, worth of 4.3 billion of amount going to export deals. Oh, okay, that's how much of the exporting, right? And some of those are perhaps domestic, right? Event organizer Saha Istanbul Defense Aerospace Cluster said on Thursday the event featured close to 1.5 thousand companies, including 766 foreign firms. So sometimes it could be an issue hosting foreign companies in your domestic market, but some of this it seems that some people do not mind. But anyway, there's some people making statements, but if anything, myself, I'm interested in perhaps in this particular company. But anyway, let's not bring more attention to some of these companies. There might be a lot of people on the edge, right? Anyway, let's take a look at next article. Previously, we were taking a look at some of those governments in Central Europe who are manufacturing different platforms. Perhaps as of now, those governments are focusing on personnel and how to move personnel from point A to point B. So that will be a lot of people and how to transport those people very fast, right? That might be one of the ways to approach defense. As I believe there might be a lot of focus as of now in other governments, actually, including Russia, when it comes to some of those platforms, and potentially having capabilities to build some of those platforms themselves, right? I believe building some of those platforms without putting people in danger would be very, very important, and something that was published recently. So I'll touch on it, and let's progress, and let's take a look at the other articles. Yesterday we were taking a look at potentially savings. There might be later that day, yesterday, I was taking a look at the negotiation process, and I believe there was discussion of one of the aircrafts, presidential aircrafts. There might be a particular name for it, and something that Boeing was manufacturing for U.S. and negotiation of the contract and how price was negotiated to close to 4 billion to build this aircraft, right? Perhaps there is more to it since there might be negotiations taking place when it comes to purchasing some of that hardware. including this particular project, but it might be private businesses, and there might be a lot of businesses working in this space. I don't know. I said I would take a look at the entire contract, but I don't know if I should promote this project. I might be interested in taking part, but I don't know if I should promote it. So that's two different separate subjects, right? To build it, who would be interested? Reading about it and promoting it, not necessary, right? How to do it instead. We can take a look at area of what they would be interested in solving. So that would be a problem. We can how to solve this particular problem. Let's take a look at this area instead, right? Instead of promoting this particular project, since most likely it's already happened, so it doesn't really matter. We can progress instead of yesterday. We can focus on tomorrow, right? And it's something that was published yesterday, so I think that would be more of the area of interest and where things might be in coming years, right? The response to, okay, let's take a look at UK evaluation expansion of combat drone production, and something that was published yesterday. The response to a question from, okay, there's a name there regarding the potential for increased UK-based drone production. Defense Minister, again, there's a name outlined the Minister of Defense approach to assessing and enhancing domestic drone capabilities. We were taking a look at the expenditure and how some of those governments looking to expand by many times their drone production, right? So perhaps it's worth of interest area for UK as well to take a look at this area, right? I'm reading all this information for the first time. I haven't read it before. Defense has conducted an in-depth industry survey following Minister of Defense Drone Industry Day earlier this year. We have generated considerable range of data on defense and supplier coherence and UK supply chain and all commercial market within the analyze alongside the range of inputs to understand where UK should prioritize production capacity. I thought capability, but anyway. Defense will continue to prioritize the development on onshore UK drone production to enhance strategic reliance by ensuring onshore production is a key metric, then selecting defense industry partners for uncrewed systems design, development, and acquisition. This will cohere throughout the newly established Defense Uncrewed Design Authority. I don't know. This is what's been published, and it's not necessarily something I would agree on, but perhaps it's something that government is doing, right? And I haven't taken a look at it. Perhaps again, it's something we might be able to delve a little bit deeper in, right? If I have to rephrase it, most likely we would be taking a look at software. While hardware would be very important, potentially most of the challenges might be software and how to have best software available up there to determine, right? In other words, if car can drive level 5 fully autonomous, so that would mean if drone can drive fully autonomous, right? Or fly fully autonomous, right? Can it? Who knows, right? It might be very hard and expensive. That would be, according to Minister of Defense, outline the system is expected to deliver between 200 to 300 kilogram payload, similar to Mk-82 bomb over a 600 kilometer range, achieve speed of around 600 kilometers an hour. So since G-force, right, perhaps if a person would be on board, how much G-force it would be able to generate without making it very tough for anyone to be on board. If there isn't a person there, the speed can go up by a lot potentially without well, anyway, that would be just a quick note, right? By launching safety from mobile platform, it had a threatened environment with reduced detection probability. So it's we delve in a little bit deeper, but anyway, operate via either ballistic trajectory of lower level cruise mode, navigate in GNSS denied environmental with target and stage guidance. But anyway, let's progress and let's take a look at last article, right? Last article, we're going to be taking a look at Lithuania and something that happened one day. Oh, it was announced one day ago that Lithuania is set to certify first of its kind drone traffic management app in Europe. So it might be when it comes to regulations and what's happening in airspace in Lithuania, right? Lithuania new drone traffic management system, a mobile app called USpace. I was trying to do a little bit of research on what USpace is, and I was trying to find a little bit more of the background information, but it might be more complex than it first can look like, as well as there might be different definition for USpace, something that has to do with Europe. But I don't know. I was trying to find some information yesterday, but anyway, will be the first certified system of its kind in Europe and will boost safety, set clear rules for drone use, and create greater opportunities for businesses. Official said on Tuesday, right? It's safety, right? Let's focus on safety for the time being, right? It's more complex. Our entire area is more complex since those drones need to have their particular capabilities, and those drones would need to understand many things before they can operate, or either with a pilot or without a pilot, right? I haven't read any of this information, but this entire subject is very complex, right? We expect to certify it with our transport competence agency, and once we do, we expect to be first in Europe to have certified this type of system. Okay, so there might be a lot of things that they're looking to put in motion first, but anyway, I don't know all these details, I'm just reading it, right? Since entire subject might be very complex, right? I have done a little bit of research previously, so it's very hard to do, as well as there might be a lot of issues. But anyway, CEO of Lithuania state-owned air navigation service provider Oro Navigacija told the reporters on U.S.-based presentation event. It's not just about being first, it's being responsible, because everybody will look at us and model. Okay, they perhaps being responsible, I agree with this part, but anyway, let's forget. I don't want to dead. They're trying very hard, and by the way, and it's a very hard thing to do. And tolerance for mistakes perhaps is 0 to none. So this is what the most likely this person was referring to, right? As well as there's a lot of pedestrians walking, right? And potentially you're flying drones above their heads, right? Anyway, Transport Minister, let's keep names, said that the new system would not only improve safety, but will also systemize the rules of information for drone use and expand opportunities for businesses. Our vision is that once we have provide services or use drones for recreational or commercial purposes, can just open that app and their mobile phones, see the current airspace situation, get permission with a single tap, and perform the flight that they want. I guess that should be a click of the button kind of turnkey, quote unquote, solutions. But there's more to it, right? And system or software doing all the work, right? Let's keep name. Experts a new app to be launched. Expects for a new app to be launched in 2025. And this system will also allow people to verify, for example, where the drones flying over their property is doing so legally, and will provide drone operations with real-time information of aerial events such as passing helicopters, incidents, and wind strength and or direction. Weather patterns, all those kind of things. But again, so we just jumping over many areas, and all within the statement, this person is looking to address some of the concerns that people might have, but there is more to it. From technical side of things, this entire is such complex. By the way. I have spent so many time reading so many different documents to understand how complex this area can be. But anyway, Aeronavigata said on June that it has signed a 2.5 million euros contract with Austria's frequencies to develop the app. Data from transport competence agencies show that Lithuania had 3.9 thousand registered drone users in January. Potentially, so it's just doing everything very slowly, making sure we can do that and it will bring profit as well as solve some of those problems, right? As well as they would need to have a strong base when it comes to building those drones themselves, I would say, not only software, right? But anyway, good luck with what they're doing. Let's close that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.